So if you can't own a home and have real estate and then pass that on to future generations, it's really difficult to build generational wealth in your family.
An expensive reality that could put the American dream even farther out of reach for the next generation. In Washington, I'm Atra El-Nashar reporting.
Well, the dream to own a home right here in San Antonio is looking like more of a possibility for some in 2024. Just last year, the real estate market slowed down, making many people a little weary of buying because of the high interest rates and fewer homes actually on the market. We spoke to local realtors who say the outlook for 2024 is much better.
People are still buying, people are still selling. The only better time to buy was yesterday. Second best time is today. It just, you need somebody to kind of sit with and explain to you all your options. And there are a lot of options.
Real estate experts say April through June are considered the busiest home selling months. There's also hope this year for potential home buyers who felt priced out of the market. Experts with the National Association of Home Builders believe mortgage rates have peaked, at least for now.
A lot of reason to be optimistic that we're going to see those rates continue to fall into the mid sixes, maybe even as low as 6% by the end of 2024.
But mortgage rates are just one part of the equation. Home prices have been enough to box out buyers, especially first-time buyers. In fact, Redfin calling 2023 the least affordable year for home buying on record. As for the reasons, experts say it's all about the inventory, homeowners who locked into lower rates during the pandemic who don't want to move, and builders being hit with high construction costs. Although in 2024, it's all expected to start bouncing back. The National Association of Home Builders expects a 5% increase in new construction of single-family homes in the new year. Speaking of, homeowners will get some relief on property taxes this year. Voters in the legislature passing an historic $18 billion in property tax relief last year. That's expected to save the average homeowner hundreds of dollars. Homeowners will also see a big increase in their homestead exemption. They won't pay school taxes on the first $100,000 of their home's value. There's also money-saving options for renters as well. 1,000 affordable rentals are now being built in San Antonio for people with lower incomes. Some of that funding comes from the first ever affordable housing bond, which passed in 2022. New affordable housing projects have been approved for 6 of the city's districts. Mayor Ron Nierenberg says providing affordable housing for everyone is one of the first steps to building a good economic outlook.
Housing is the basic economic building block of families all across the country. Without housing that people can afford, the rest of our economic foundation is broken.
The affordable housing bond also has some money designated for new home construction as well. A larger portion of the budget designated for home renovations in an effort to put more single-family homes on the market at an affordable price. From homes to cars we go. Before you head to the dealership, financial experts say be sure to do your research and choose a vehicle within your budget. Car payments will run you on average $700 per month. While buying outright is ideal if you can, if financing is your only option, experts suggest do not extend payments past 72 months regardless of the interest rate, and pay it off as soon as possible to save money instead of paying interest.
If you're just now buying your first car, don't get into this habit of being this subject to payments all the time. Try to find a situation early in life where you can buy a clunker if you need to and pay it off and just enjoy life without car payments, because it is freedom.
Experts say buying used is typically the best deal since new cars depreciate the minute that you take them off the lot. Here's a bit of more good news for you. Drivers can expect lower gas and diesel prices in the new year. GasBuddy expects the yearly national average will drop from $3.51 a gallon in 2023 to $3.38 this year. While you may need the savings from the pump to go towards heating and cooling your home, CPS Energy customers will see their bills go up starting in February. The San Antonio City Council voting last month in favor of a 4.25% price hike, that is, for all residential and commercial customers. CPS Energy officials say the extra $85 million in revenue will go towards increasing reliability, upgrading cybersecurity, and staffing. The rate increase is the second for CPS customers in just 2 years.
Falling inflation or slower inflation is not the same as falling price levels.
Inflation is lower, but for some, it is not reason to celebrate.
It's still very recent memory for a lot of consumers, what things cost in 2019, 2020, and it was a lot less than it is now. So the fact that prices came up so fast, and then even though they're not still rising as quickly, they're still staying up at that high level, just growing a little more slowly.
Experts say Americans making $50,000 or less per year impacted the most by inflation. Prices are now elevated, which means lower income workers will need to make more to keep pace. However, that could be tough because wage growth is also pretty slow. The high cost of pretty much everything has forced some popular local businesses to close. One example, Sangria on the Berg. After serving 7 years, the San Antonio community, the owner telling us he had to make that very difficult decision to close his doors. He says inflation has impacted the price of goods that the restaurant needs.
I've tried so hard the last year and a half to make it work and to keep going, but after a while, you just can't afford to lose more money.
Local economists tell us the closures will have a ripple effect on the city's economy.
That'll have a spillover effect on other businesses because they're no longer spending money at other businesses in town.
Other businesses we spoke with tell us to stay open. They're cutting back on spending and relying on more customers coming through their doors. Still to come tonight, new video of City Councilman Mark White's DWI arrest and the action taken against him by the mayor today in our News 4 Snapshot. And today was certainly beautiful outside, but we are just a few days away from Old Man Winter showing his face right here in San Antonio. We are tracking an Arctic blast when we come back.
You're watching News 4 San Antonio.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me? I can hear you. Is this supposed to be black? Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, we're good. Okay. Got it. So weather than me. And to my left, like right here? Okay, like right here? Okay. So right here? Can I scoot up just a tad? Okay, thank you. Everything's like so far. It's like an eye test.
Well, it was a beautiful day across our 4 zones, 70s, even some 80s earlier. We're slowly cooling off. It's still 67 San Antonio, 79 in Cotulla, but things will change. The first change comes in overnight tonight. We already have a wind advisory issued for every single one of our counties across our 4 zones. Goes into effect at midnight, lingers until 1 p.m. on your Friday. Winds right now relatively calm, so if you're headed out on this Thursday night, a beautiful evening in store, mainly clear skies. But here comes our next weather maker moving through New Mexico. Some mountain snow. This is cold front number 1. It's going to kick up the winds, a little bit cooler for your Friday, but it's not our Arctic cold front. That arrives Sunday. We have new timing on that and how cold it's going to be early next week. That's coming up in a few minutes.
Good evening, I'm Melissa Vega, and this is your News 4 Snapshot. A guilty murder plea today from a teen accused in a deadly shooting. Authorities say Isaac Gonzalez and another teen stole a car back in October. They drove to a home near Barbach in 1604 before opening fire and killing 25-year-old Novita Brazil and injuring another person. Gonzalez is scheduled to be sentenced next week. And tonight we're getting our first look at the body camera footage of the arrest of Councilman Mark White. He was pulled over late last last month and charged with driving while intoxicated. Well, today, Mayor Ron Nirenberg suspended White from his council committee assignments and called a special meeting for this Sunday for the council to consider censoring him. And you can watch the full body camera video and catch up with all of today's news on news4sa.com. And that's a look at tonight's News 4 Snapshot.
Still to come tonight, saving money on all the things that we need. Some simple tricks to keep a little extra cash in your wallets. That's next on News 4 San Antonio In Depth.
From the Admiral's arrival to Tim Duncan's first interview in our city and the first San Antonio sportscaster to talk to Wemby, Don Harris is your #1 Spurs authority. Here then, here now, here for you.
Whether it's groceries, eating out, or perhaps investing in big ticket items, we have some tips to help you save. First, be sure to download the app to the stores where you regularly shop and eat, as they often offer deals and can also accumulate rewards for you. Another way to save, use in-store coupons for things that you would already buy. Virtual coupons, also an option, and be sure to check out a store's app before you leave home.
The comfort of your own couch, before you leave to the store, making your list. And it's really helping you budget before you get there, because many coupons are inside that app.
All right, finally, set a budget and avoid impulse shopping. Guilty. Financial experts warn to avoid any type of buy now, pay later options and avoid the risk of interest being tacked onto the final price tag. If you can't afford it now, save up until you can. From cutting the cord to cutting streaming services, the Wall Street Journal finds about 1/4 of U.S. subscribers have canceled some streaming services over the past 2 years, as more services have actually increased in price. Families are pushing their loved ones to choose their favorites and cancel the rest. The good thing about streaming, though, there's no commitment. That means you can come back the very next month if you want. Also, you can probably expect more bundle deals and promotions from streaming services looking to keep and get new customers as well.
Now your certified most accurate 4-zone weather with meteorologist Joe DiCarlo.
One thing that's free that you can download is a News 4 4-zone weather app, that whole bit.
Yes.
It's free. You don't have to pay anything for that, and you're going to need it next week.
You are going to need it, yeah. Up and down temperatures in the days ahead. So we got one cold front coming tonight. We got the stronger one coming Sunday. So download that app.
Buckle
Keep
up.
you updated on those temperatures, because they're going to be all over the place. Today, we were pushing 90 down towards Carrizo Springs, upwards of 88 earlier this afternoon. It's 74 there right now. 79, still close to 80 in Cotulla. 67 here in San Antonio. So a mild Thursday evening across our 4 zones. Mainly clear skies. It's been a beautiful day across the area, but things are changing. The first change is only a few hours away. Our first cold front, first weather maker moving through New Mexico right now. Here's the cold front. That's going to be heading our direction overnight tonight. It's not going to bring us a rain chance. However, there is going to be a rain chance off to our east and northeast, especially in the Houston, East Texas. That's where we do have that threat of some severe weather overnight tonight. For us, the front will move through, clear skies for your Friday. It's going to be cooler tomorrow, and it's also going to really kick up the winds, and that is the big change headed into your Friday. Strong winds return overnight tonight. We're going to see those winds gusting out of the west-northwest, 45 to 50, even 55 miles an hour early on your Friday. So the winds will be with us tomorrow morning. Afternoon, still gusting upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour, but by tomorrow evening, those winds will slowly start to subside, and it'll be a cold night overnight of tomorrow into your early Saturday. Wind advisory goes into effect at midnight, in effect until 1 p.m. Friday for every county across our 4 zones. So here's your Friday forecast. Plenty of sunshine, but it will be cooler. We'll start off in the 40s. We'll go for 58, and the winds are going to be the big thing on your Friday. Northwest at 30 miles an hour to start today, gusting to 50, 55, and then slowly subsiding by the afternoon and evening. Here's the Arctic air setting up shop across Canada. It's minus 42 actual air temperature in Yellowknife, minus 2 right now in Bismarck, North Dakota. So that Arctic air already starting to move south, and it will be moving south into South Texas by Sunday. It's coming in a little bit earlier with the latest computer models. By Sunday afternoon, we're going to have temperatures in the mid to upper 30s, feeling though like freezing on Sunday evening. Monday, it'll feel like the low 20s in the morning, feeling even like the mid 20s for the afternoon. And then here's Tuesday morning, the coldest air moving in. Feels like temperatures, the wind feeling like the single digits. Up the road, North Texas, below 0 is what it's going to feel like early on your Tuesday. So the Arctic air is moving in. We're also tracking that chance of a little wintry precipitation. Most models keep that icing threat just north of San Antonio, mainly in the hill country, but we're going to watch it for a little bit of light drizzle, maybe some light freezing mist on your Monday morning. So here's the ice accumulation: northern Bexar County, Comal County, Kendall County into Kerr County. That's where we may see upwards of 1/10 of an inch of ice. Still a few days out. We'll continue to fine tune this forecast, but it is looking like we'll track a little bit of wintry weather with that Arctic air mass. And again, you can track it as well. Up and down temperatures, rain, ice, any snow that we may see. It's that 4Zone weather app, a free download and on the App Store. So something definitely to check out the next 7 days, because here it is, up and down temperatures. 58 Friday, windier and cooler. And then the Arctic air moves in Sunday afternoon. And we will track that chance of a wintry mix early on Monday. Cold temperatures as well next week. Western zone up and down temperatures. Hill country tracking that chance of some wintry precipitation on Monday. Single digit lows next week. And there's your eastern zone extended forecast. Up and down temperatures. Arctic air arriving on Sunday.
This is the Thomas J. Henry Sports Desk.
Hey, get this. The NBA is in Paris, France today, and the Spurs will be next. According to reports and according to former Spur Tony Parker, the Spurs will play not 1 but 2 games in Paris in 2025. Today's game was between the Cleveland Cavaliers and Brooklyn Nets. It was a who's who of celebrities, from Tony Parker to David Beckham. Adam Silver and Parker both hinted strongly that 2 Spurs games in France next year is closing in on being a done deal. Parker said, quote, "It's very good news to have the Spurs next year and for 2 games." Now, if this is true, Wemby says he couldn't be happier.
If it happens, I would feel very, very lucky. You know, it's definitely gonna be special. Also some kind of home court advantage, I guess, but it's probably gonna be one of the most intense and precious game in my life if that happens.
All right, when the Cowboys take on the Packers Sunday, it's going to be a very special day for one of San Antonio's own, who's come a long way in or shorter time to make a start in the playoffs. Zach Hedrick at the Star in Frisco with more.
At times this season, the Cowboys' offensive line has looked more like a patchwork quilt, with guys rotating in and out, never being fully healthy. But after a season-ending injury 1 year ago, one of San Antonio's own has made a remarkable recovery to anchor the right side of that line.
Yeah, it's definitely been a long journey, but I'm grateful for it all. I'm just glad I was able to stay healthy, and just play for my team the whole season. So
Terrence Steele has been an Ironman for the Cowboys this season.
He hasn't missed anything. He hasn't missed a snap of anything.
It's what I've been working for since this time last year. So, it's awesome to get out there and win this game and continue to compete for the world championships.
Remarkable is a great description. And I think you can put Tony Pollard in that category too. I mean, when you come off of major injuries, that first year is always tough, because you got to go through so many things again for the first time. I think Terrence has done a great job.
Cowboys fans certainly hoping Steele and the rest of the offensive line, along with Tony Pollard, will be able to find their gear and help drive this team to a deep run in the playoffs. Reporting at the Star in Frisco, Zach Hedrick, News 4, San Antonio.
All right, thanks, Zach. More on the Cowboys tonight at 10. Packers and Cowboys tee it up Sunday at 3:25. You can watch it on our sister station, Fox San Antonio. Of course, we'll have all the post-game coverage and reaction from Arlington on Sports Sunday nights. Playoff time. It's here.
Yeah, we've got a game on our hands. All right, thank you, Don. We're back in a moment. Thanks for watching our News 4 In-Depth as we took a look at the economic outlook for 2024. We are here for you and want to know the issues that you'd like us to look at in the future. Be sure to chime in right now on our News 4 Facebook page along with X channels. And if you'd like to rewatch this newscast, be sure to head to news4sa.com. You can also find all of our in-depth shows right now on our YouTube channel. Just search News 4 San Antonio Podcasts on YouTube. Next on News 4 San Antonio at 6:30, officials in Mexico cracking down on crossings at the border, leading to a decrease in migrants right here in the Alamo City. But city leaders believe that trend will not last.
This is News 4 San Antonio at 6:30.
Ahead of the cold weather coming in this weekend, many will be cranking up their heaters, but that also comes with the dangers of carbon monoxide poisoning. Plus, new video revealing more about the Fort Worth hotel explosion, what witnesses had to say about those terrifying moments. And starting this week, the San Antonio Riverwalk will be drained for cleaning. What you need to know if you were planning to visit. Welcome to News 4 San Antonio.